Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel and I make videos about books. So this video is entirely too late to post, I feel like, but the other day I was writing in my reading journal and I have a spread for different new releases for each month. Where I write the ones that I'm excited for so that I can keep them in mind to buy later. And I was doing that and I was like, ooh, why don't I film a video about these said books that I am excited for? And so these are the January 2023 new releases that I am excited for. It is the end of January, so they have all already come out, but maybe that's better because then you can actually go to the store and get these books. I don't have many, I have like 6 or 7 on this list, and yeah, if you know of any other January releases that I don't mention, let me know. Okay, I'm gonna start with 2 books that I own, that I bought, that came out this January. So the first book I'm going to talk about came out on January 3rd, and that is The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. I love Rachel Hawkins' thriller books. She wrote The Wife Upstairs and Reckless Girls, and I just think her writing is so readable and intriguing, and I finish her books so quickly. And this book in particular is under 300 pages, so quick little read. This is another thriller. It's about these 2 girls who are in their 30s who are kind of estranged because, you know, life gets in the way and they have their jobs and stuff, and so they don't have time for the relationship. You know, are trying to rekindle their friendship. So they go to Italy to go to this little villa and have just a great little vacation. Use that paid time off. But then they are there and weird things start happening. And this, Rachel Hawkins, with all of her books, she kind of bases them off of other literary or like cultural things. Like The Wife Upstairs was they like took inspiration from Jane Eyre, and then Reckless Girls, it was from some sort of Agatha Christie novel, I think, and Then There Were None. And then this one isn't based off of a novel, but it is based off of Mary Shelley's summer that she wrote Frankenstein. So if you look it up, Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein during in the English countryside during summer, but it was a very dark summer because a volcano went off in Indonesia, and then it basically, like, the ash made England dark for that whole summer. So like there's gloomy vibes even though it's summer and it's weird, and then weird things happened to Mary Shelley and her friends, or the friends were acting weird. I don't know, don't look it up. But it's based a little bit off of that. It's inspired by Fleetwood Mac, the Manson murders, and the infamous summer Percy and Mary Shelley spent with Lord Byron at a Lake Geneva castle, the birthplace of Frankenstein. Rachel Hawkins' The Villa invites you into its deadly legacy. So excited for that. Then I have a book of the month book that I got for, I think this was my December pick. Yeah, December. All the Dangerous Things. And this came out obviously in December for book of the month, but in January, on January 10th for normal publishing. And this just sounded so up my alley. It's another thriller, and it involves this woman, Isabel, who her son gets kidnapped as like a baby. Her toddler son, Mason, is taken out of his crib in the middle of the night and is gone, and she literally cannot rest until she finds him. Like, she only takes tiny little naps, sleeps randomly here or there, definitely does not sleep enough, and so she got that sleep deprivation, which makes her an unreliable narrator, which I love. And she teams up with this true crime podcaster to kind of get to the bottom of it, but then weird things start happening and she's like why is this podcaster asking these questions about my past? What does it have to do with Mason? All these things. And yeah, but all the while she like can't sleep, so she's kind of unreliable, which I love. It's very much just giving like Girl on the Train, any sort of unreliable female narrator who either doesn't sleep enough or is drunk all the time, and so you can't trust what she says, and I love that. So those are the two books that I have, and then I looked up other books that came out this month that I am interested in. First, I had seen this book places, but it never really grabbed my attention because the cover is very boring. I think it's like it's telling me nothing. And that is The Age of Vice, which came out January 3rd. I saw this on like lists on the internet when I was looking for different books that came out this month. And I was about to skip past it, but I was like, let me just see what it's about. I have seen it places, so it must be interesting somehow. And I read the description and I was like, this sounds amazing. So I want to read it. This is the one time I will say don't judge a book by its cover, because that cover is bad, but the book sounds good. So I'm gonna read you just the first like description, first like few paragraphs of description on Goodreads, because it was what drew me in, so maybe it'll draw you in. This is the age of vice, where money, pleasure, and power are everything, and the family ties that bind can also kill. New Delhi, 3 a.m., a speeding Mercedes jumps the curb, and in the blink of an eye, 5 people are dead. It's a rich man's car, but when the dust settles, there's no rich man at all, just a shell-shocked, that's a little bit of a tongue twister, servant who can't explain the strange series of events that led to this crime, nor can he foresee the dark drama that is about to unfold. Deftly shifting through time and perspective in contemporary India, Age of Vice is an epic action-packed story propelled by the seductive wealth, startling corruption, and bloodthirsty violence of the Wadia family. Loved by some, loathed by others, feared by all. I don't know, it grabbed my attention and I want to read it. So, Age of Vice. Then I'm not totally sold on if I want to read this book, but I put it on the list because I don't know, maybe. And that is Exes and Os, which came out January 10th. And this is the follow-up to Set on You, which is, these are romances. Obviously, the cover speaks to that, but Set on You was like a gym influencer, a plus-sized gym influencer's love story with this guy from the gym. And it was the debut, and I just thought it was kind of like meh, like 2.5 stars. But this one follows a book Instagrammer, I think she does book Instagram, I don't know, book social media person, and she like reviews books and stuff like that. That sounds great. She's obsessed with like second chance romances, so she meets up with 10 of her exes to try to spark a second chance romance. And that just sounds way more fun than the first book. First book, I don't know, I go to the gym, but I'm not like, workout is my life, but books are my life. So I think I'll enjoy that more, and just the premise sounds more interesting. The first one definitely felt like a debut novel, like very cliche and very like overdone, but I thought the writing had potential, so I kind of do want to try this one, and if I don't like this one, then I'll just not read another one by her. Okay, then we have The Survivalist, which came out on January 10th, and this is about Aretha, who is a single Black lawyer who is, I guess, having a hard time at her job. She's like, I don't think I'm gonna make partner, and she's kind of a workaholic. But then she meets her boyfriend, who is a coffee entrepreneur, whatever that means, and his roommates are doomsday preppers. And she ends up moving in with him and the roommates and kind of getting into this world of underground doomsday prepping, buying illegal guns and stockpiling food that won't go bad and all that. And it sounds just very interesting. I feel like it'll have very interesting commentary, so that's why I'm interested in that one. Then the one I'm probably most excited for on this list is Really Good Actually, which came out January 17th, and this sounds so good, and I love the cover. So I'm just gonna read again the blurb because the blurb is what got me. So maybe it'll get you. So, a debut novel from a comedian. Already sounds great. It's gonna be funny, hopefully. So here's the blurb. Maggie is fine. She's doing really good, actually. Sure, she's broke. Her graduate thesis on something obscure is going nowhere, and her marriage only lasted 608 days. But at the ripe old age of 29, Maggie is determined to embrace her new life as a surprisingly young divorcee. Now she has time to take up 9 hobbies, eat hamburgers at 4 a.m., and get back out there, sex-wise. With the support of her tough-loving academic advisor, Maris, her newly divorced friend, Amy, and her group chat, naturally, Maggie barrels through her first year of single life, intermittently dating, occasionally waking up on the floor and asking herself tough questions along the way. Reading that back, I realized that sounds like very millennial and kind of cringy, but but I don't know. Also, something about it sounds very, like, funny and relatable at the same time. So we'll see about that. I'm less excited reading that blurb again. I don't know. I made this list a couple of glasses of wine deep. And then the last one on the list is a young adult pick. It is The Davenports, which came out January 31st. And this one is, I think it's going to be a series, because on Goodreads it said like The Davenports #1. And it's set in the 1910s, and it follows William Davenport's family, and he is a wealthy black man who made his fortune through the Davenport Carriage Company. I looked it up, and that's not real, and this is not a real man, but I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe it is, but he is not. But it sounds very much like Bridgerton, because it's a lot about setting up the daughters of William and kind of like, you know, courting and all that stuff, because it's 1910 and that's what they do. And yeah, it sounded interesting. A lot of like conversation about race, and I feel like I haven't read a historical novel in a while, so that should be fun. A little historical fiction, a good time, and it's very like Bridgerton, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, those are all of the new releases in January that I want to get to. I want to get through my physical TBR first, but these two are a part of my physical TBR, so I will be reading them, and I'll keep the other ones in mind for down the road. But yeah, let me know if any of those struck your fancy, if you're interested in them, and let me know if you have any other recommendations that I should be privy to. I don't know why I'm talking like I'm writing an English essay right now, but yeah. Okay. Anyway, have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in the near future. Or you'll see me. Okay, bye.